Hello, everybody. What's up? What's up? I said, what's up?
Welcome to the realest thing you'll ever meet in sports. This is unadulterated, uncut, and pretty much just our honest opinion about how sports is and what should be said about it. There's no media that's cut through the red tape, and let's get it started.
Do not adjust your set. You are now tuned in to the most gubernatorial, electromonographical sportscast in history.
Governor Taskful. Love it. Love it.
I had to get my Don King promotion on for a second.
Hey, that's what we
This
here
is
for.
Real Talk Sports. Basically, that's all it is. We give you sports exactly how you like it, unadulterated, with that real.
That's all we know. Let's get it.
That's all we do. Today, our first inaugural podcast session. Basically, it's a football related episode. We got to cover football because we men.
And that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah, and
It's man season.
love it. Been waiting. It's like a kid in the candy store. Welcome back from Christmas. Let's go. Football is finally back. How you feeling about that one?
Feeling pretty damn good right now. Put the ladies up, get the Madden out. It's time to go. Football. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We don't just cover football though, but really right now ain't nothing else happening worth talking about.
I mean, LeBron's at home. Baseball it's in part of baseball season where nobody cares at the moment.
It's baseball, man.
I mean,
LeBron getting his hairline spray painted on right now.
good luck with that.
Kobe got an 85 on NBA 2K16.
You lucky we covering football because we could go an hour about that. Go Lakers.
Bruh, I could go about 3 hours about that. But right now, we're going to start off with the number one topic of the football off season.
I bet you'll never guess what it is.
Not in a million years.
1, 2, 3 at the same time.
Deflategate. So as everybody knows, the Patriots got a big hand slap and Tom Brady got a big foot up his ass.
About time. Keep going.
For basically throwing around some Nerf footballs during the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. Let's see. 4 games, and it's not even the point of that he got the hand slapped to me, bro. It's the point of he guilty. You got caught. Just be guilty, bro. Don't run out like that like you didn't do it. I mean, you destroyed your phone the second they asked for it. Come on, man. Really?
My thing is, are we really that surprised?
Not at all.
I mean, it's the Patriots. Half of their Super Bowls come from cheating. Oops.
Half.
My bad.
Half.
Too soon.
Half.
You're right. Probably a little bit more than half. But anyway.
Yeah, a little bit more than half. Kind of like, I'd round it off to say all of them.
So kind of to recap the timeline with Deflategate, basically toward the end of the first half, Tom Brady got picked off. One of the defensive players for the Colts brought the ball to the ref and was like, "Hey, this ball
feels a little funny.
Ball feels a little flat.
Yeah,
might want to check on that."
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, the Patriots ball boy was gone, missing in action for a little bit over a minute, locked in the bathroom, giving the footballs a good little hand job.
Right.
And the ball was about 2 pounds per.
You got to get it right now. 2 PSI, which is the equivalent of taking a deep breath and blowing it on you.
Pretty much. So they tested all the footballs, and all the footballs were about 2 pounds per square inch under the regulation. They aired them all up, made sure they were all regulated, and in the second half, the Patriots proceeded to go out there and whoop the living hell out of the Colts with the legal football.
Yeah. I didn't think that 2 PSI made that much of a difference, but apparently the NFL did. Apparently, Roger Goodell did, and his reputation. Oh, we ain't gonna go there right now.
We ain't got enough time for that.
Yeah, it's a podcast, not a novel, people.
But pretty much, he goes and hires Ted Wells to do this, quote unquote. Like, y'all can't see me right now.
Air quotes.
I'm doing the real big air quotes right now when I say this independent investigation.
Yeah.
And they determined that it was more probable than not that Tom Brady was, air quotes again,
Big air quotes.
at least generally aware.
Somewhat. A little bit. He could feel it. Basically, that's what they were saying, that he could feel and tell that the ball was not to the NFL specification. Yeah.
So, based on that, they suspended him for 4 games. The Patriots got a nice big $1 million fine, which is like a...
Yeah, for a franchise is worth well over $3 billion. $1 million is like, the change in your ashtray.
It's like a McDonald's Happy Meal to Bob Kraft right now. But they got fined. Brady got suspended. Brady don't like being suspended.
Yeah, I mean, since Brady's made well over $200 million in his career in 4 games, it's just going to kill him. Seeing as how he's married to the richest supermodel in the world, and they probably worth an estimated $1 billion together.
They like the white Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Right.
I ain't mad at him about that, though. I'm mad at him because he keep beating Peyton Manning. And that stuff he said about Peyton Manning was kind of messed up.
It was kind of true.
Why you got to hate on Peyton Manning, man?
Because it's Peyton Manning.
We ain't on Peyton Manning right now. We on Tom Brady, damn it.
Well,
anyway, back to what we was talking about, so I was so rudely interrupted.
It's Peyton Manning.
Tom Brady didn't like that. They fighting it out in court right now.
For no apparent reason.
Even the federal court judge was like, y'all need to settle this.
Because he's pissed they wasting his time.
Y'all need to go ahead and settle this shit, like, right now.
Okay. Let's really get to the meat and potatoes of this whole situation and why this whole situation is going on anyway.
All right.
First, Robert Kraft, he was riding with his buddy, Roger Goodell, and then kind of figured out, hey, I kind of threw my franchise quarterback under the bus. So now let me ride with my franchise quarterback after this decision just came down. That was a crock to me personally.
Let's not forget, Bob Kraft readily accepted that $1 million fine and 2 confiscated draft picks.
And they wasn't even significant draft picks. This man, you gonna get basically Mr. I might not make the team and Mr. Irrelevant.
I don't know. Wasn't it like a 4th round pick in 2017 and like a 1st round pick next year?
That the Patriots are probably gonna trade a good player for and get right back anyway.
They always have like 12 picks every draft.
Belichick is the hoarder of draft picks anyway. It's not like he ain't got at least 300 of them every draft anyway. So they really ain't missing squat. But let's jumping back on subject. I mean, Tom Brady basically is a legacy thing for him. He feels that if he accepts this suspension without fighting, people's going to think that he's a cheater and his legacy is going to be tarnished. Bro, you got Super Bowls. You got lucky on the last one. We ain't going to go into that right now. We got 16 plus weeks to go into that.
I plan on spending all 16 of them.
Yeah, that's probably going to come up for about the next at least 16 of them.
But my thing is this. Why are we talking about some deflated footballs?
Who cares?
Why are we even discussing this subject at all? I mean, it's like a slap on the wrist and let's be done with it. That being said, if this were any other team,
it'd have been over with. It'd have been over with 2 months ago.
There would have been no suspensions. There would have been no...
There would have been a fine.
There would have been a fine, probably $50,000 fine, and that would have been the end of it.
But did you love how they threw the ball boy under the bus?
Oh my goodness!
Wasn't that great? Wasn't that just perfect? Let's throw a
gassed.
guy under the bus that makes probably $25,000 a year, as opposed to this quarterback that makes $18 million. Because of course, it's gonna just completely destroy the quarterback that makes $18 million. But this guy that's lost his job is probably one of the most hated people in New England right now for a dumb reason, other than doing what he was told.
Not only did they throw him under the bus, they took the bus, gassed it up, put some spikes on the wheels,
and let it sit on top of him.
and then flipped that bad boy on top of him.
For all you people that's having dinner right now, enjoy that image.
But that brings me to my next question. Does this tarnish Tom Brady's legacy?
No, not at all.
And this is the first time out of very many times I can assure you that we will have a difference of opinion.
No, not at all. And I'll explain to you why. It's deflated footballs. Does it tarnish the legacy of this man has been to 5 Super Bowls and won 6 Super Bowls and won 4 of them? Does this demolish? Does this say anything about that the score of the game that the quote unquote deflated football and then ended 45-7 anyway?
Gotta love them air quotes.
And was over with by halftime. Does this say any? Basically, the only thing that this says is about a team that's been known for cheating in the past is, hey, they're still doing it in the modern day era. Nothing changed.
But you said it right there, and this is why I believe it does tarnish his legacy. Cheating. Like, you can't mention the New England Patriots at all without mentioning cheating in some shape, form, or fashion. You said it yourself. The first 2 Super Bowls, you can argue they wouldn't have won or wouldn't even been competitive in had they not been filming the walkthroughs. Then they got caught with Spygate. And now this is like the 4th time during Bill Belichick and Tom Brady's era that they've been caught cheating.
So, right or wrong, Tom Brady is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
Right or wrong, Belichick is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
If I didn't have to talk about this cheating stuff all the time. Like, I can't.
He's still going into the Hall of Fame, no doubt. So how is his legacy tarnished? He's still going to be known as one of the best quarterbacks, top 5 quarterbacks of all time.
I'm going to tell you why. Because we talking about it. Like I said, you can't mention Tom Brady. You're not going to be able to mention Tom Brady's name anymore without mentioning Deflategate. You're not going to be able to mention the Patriots without mentioning Deflategate, Spygate, Walkthrough Gate, whatever gate you want to call it. You're not going to be able to mention them without mentioning some form of cheating in some form of fashion.
What is the pinnacle of any professional sports players? What's the pinnacle? The Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame.
First ballot Hall of Fame, basically you go down in history as a sports god, right or wrong.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's like saying, not jumping off subject, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's lost in Super Bowls. Peyton Manning doesn't have the best postseason record. But that's not saying that that's not going to take away from Peyton Manning at all being a top 5 quarterback of all time. The same way that this is not going to take away at all from Tom Brady being a top 5 quarterback of all time.
Peyton Manning is different, though, because Peyton Manning is football Kobe Bryant. If Peyton Manning had Bill Belichick his entire career, this wouldn't even been a subject.
I mean,
if Tom Brady had Jim Caldwell, Tony Dungy, who's his coach now? Gary Kubiak? Gary M. effing Kubiak.
But
John Fox. All good coaches, mind you.
Right.
Nothing wrong with them. But they ain't no Bill Belichick. That same thing with Pop and Tim Duncan. Would Tim Duncan have 5 rings if he had been in LA?
Yes.
Debatable.
I can't even say debatable. Yes. Why? Because he'd probably be playing with a guy named Kobe Bryant.
But see, you messing up my little illustration right now, and I don't appreciate that. You gotta switch him. If Kobe Bryant was with Pop, how many rings would Kobe have right now?
About 9.
About 9, 10. That's what I'm saying, though. If Peyton was with Bill Belichick, like, he'd be unquestionably the greatest quarterback ever to play in the existence of everything. Like, they would name the football after him. You wouldn't be throwing a football anymore. You'd be throwing a Peyton.
But even through all that, he's still a Hall of Fame quarterback.
But I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Tom Brady is still a Hall of Fame quarterback. But is he unquestionably the greatest quarterback ever now? No. Joe Montana didn't have to worry about
nobody really.
stuff like that.
The thing about, and I love when people bring up the whole unquestionably. You'll see a lot. You guys will hear a lot of air quotes in this podcast.
Air quotes.
People bring up the whole nobody is unquestionably, because if anybody was unquestionably the greatest of anything, we wouldn't have debates like we having right now. So there's always going to be a question.
There's always going to be that one jackass that goes out and says that Bill Russell is better than Michael Jordan. Bill Russell played with a bunch of 6'2" white guys.
If they were that tall, and they consider centers at 6'2".
Bill Russell could coach that team, play for that team, probably cook that team's dinner.
I'm sure he did.
He was probably the head athletic trainer and the general manager.
Well, you're walking a fine line. We can't be talking about the black man cooking dinner back in the 60s. We're going to go into a whole nother situation.
Black men back in the 60s could cook?
I didn't say they could cook. You got to think about what was going on back in that time, buddy.
Yeah, you're right. Moving on.
Right.
Tom Brady's still a great quarterback. I can't stand him, but that's just me personally.
And please do not get it twisted through my argument that I am a Tom Brady fan. I can't stand him. Most of their reason is Giselle, but I won't even touch that situation.
It's not even Giselle.
Jealousy.
I just can't stand him. I can't stand him.
Yeah, most Peyton Manning fans can't.
I hate his hairline because it's perfect.
I hate that you hating the hairline and the Uggs, and come on. Sounds a little jealous. Sound like a little jealousy.
I'm not jealous of him. I mean, would I really want $100 million contract, multi-million-dollar,
few multi-million-dollar endorsements? Yeah, just a couple.
Like the top 10 hottest woman
of all time in the history of
way.
the planet.
Get that out of here. I don't care about that. He just had to come along at the same time as Peyton. Tier.
Yeah.
But Deflategate, it's really just a big nothing. Do you think he's going to get the full 4 games?
Yes, because I think that this whole situation will not be resolved before the season starts, which is in 2 weeks. So, yes, I do think he's going to get the whole full 4 game. Right. Do I care? All I want him to be is suspended for the first one. Steelers Nation, baby.
I want him to be suspended for all 4. All 4.
I'm sure he will be, because this, like I say, this situation will not be resolved before the season starts from the way things look. But the NFL has a funny way of just popping crap up out the blue too. So they may go ahead and resolve the whole situation before the day is over with. You just never know with the NFL.
No matter what happens, he's gonna miss some time. Whether he misses 2 games, whether he misses 4 games, the NFL has to make a statement. Goodell has to make a statement. That's why I believe he will miss some time. Will he miss all 4 games? Maybe.
So now my question to you is, what does this do for Roger Goodell? Does it make or break his legacy?
I mean, Roger Goodell is what he is.
Which is?
A dictator.
Emphasis on the first 4 letters of that, but keep going.
But I mean, this is what Roger Goodell has been since he's come into the league. He's utilitarian. He's got the power. He wields the stick. You will bend before his stick, or you will get smacked by that stick. And then when you go cry to somebody about being smacked by Roger Goodell's stick, guess who you crying to?
Roger Goodell.
And Roger Goodell's gonna be like, oh, let me go back and think about whether I was right or wrong for smacking you with that stick. Nah.
Here's my viewpoint on Roger Goodell. You ever notice those guys that you go to high school with that gets bullied and pushed around and smacked around, and then they grow up to be grown men that may become, soldiers or cops or something, and then all of a sudden they get this whole I am better than God mentality and decide they want to push around everybody? That's just what Roger Goodell reminds me of. A little kid that was kind of bullied and smacked around, and now he got a little bit of authority, and he likes to play, like you said, dictator. Really, to me, Roger Goodell is a very weak man that has a strong position.
Emphasis on strong, like when you make $44 million a year.
For doing absolutely nothing.
Oh, he's doing something. He's making sure them owners' pocketbooks stay fat.
And that's why they keep him around.
As long as they're getting paid, Roger Goodell will be in business. I can guarantee you that. It's 32 people that will make sure that to combine have more money than Jesus, and will make sure that Roger Goodell is still there.
Okay. I'm sure every listener that we have that's probably been watching nothing but baseball and everything this summer. I'm about sick about hearing about Deflategate. I mean, really and truthfully, it is a complete waste of time. It is really ain't even worth talking about anymore because, hey, it's just really a measuring contest, a dictator measuring contest. And it's not even worth talking about anymore. So
we're going to cross that bad boy out and move on to something else.
Next.
Moving on. Biggest off-season moves. This off-season, there's a lot of stuff that happened.
Right.
Besides Deflategate. Besides Nerf footballs.
God.
And stuff like that. So what I wanted to do, go over the biggest off-season moves that took place in the NFL and kind of get your thoughts on what you thought was the biggest move.
I honestly think, and it probably was not even considered a move, I think the biggest impact of the offseason in the NFL was everything that happened to the San Francisco 49ers.
You want to talk about jumping off a cliff. Oh, my goodness.
They pretty much just decided to take their franchise, light it on fire, and piss on the ashes.
They blew their bad boy up.
I mean, okay, let's dissect this, shall we? You got probably one of the best coaches in the NFL. Probably, I'd say at least top 5 at the moment. You can't get along with him. He decides he wants to go back and be a kid again and goes to Michigan and starts coaching college football. You got most of your players retiring before 30. You had one 30-year-old retired that's probably arguably the best middle linebacker in the game.
Patrick Willis, by the way.
You got a coach that I've never heard of him, and the sad thing about it, he's been on the coaching staff for years. You got Colin Kaepernick that you may as well just feed to the wolves, because I was just looking at a report today. You had 13 starters, either offense or defense, that's not there anymore. To me, in the NFC West, that is the biggest impact that's happened in the offseason.
They lost legitimately the top 7 or 8 players not named Colin Kaepernick from that roster. Chris Borland, who was going to be the heir apparent to Patrick Willis,
very promising,
retired after 1 year
because he's scared of getting concussions. Newsflash, you could have got concussion in Little League, could have got a concussion in high school. You made it through college, you made it through a year of pros. Now all of a sudden you're worried. Really? Come on, man.
But that's another topic for another issue. Chris Borland decided that he would rather spend his days doing paperwork than playing for the San Francisco 49ers.
Air quote, idiot. Next.
Then we lost Patrick Willis, one of the top 5 middle linebackers.
Definitely would have played, definitely first ballot Hall of Famer if he would have continued his career.
Will he be a Hall of Famer now?
If he comes back.
He's only 30.
If he comes back. If he decides that after, say, taking a year off, that, hey, I made a bad decision, I'm coming back. If he comes back and plays 5 more outstanding years, basically on the pace that he's been playing, then no doubt. First ballot, no. But Hall of Famer, I believe so, if he comes back and have the same impact.
Could be. They lost the Smith brothers. Justin Smith retired. Alden Smith
threw his life away.
He looked worse than homeboy off of 5 Heartbeats.
You know what?
Nights like this,
I used to honestly think
raindrops would fall.
Wow.
The offensive line is going completely in the toilet.
What offensive line? They out one?
They lost Frank Gore, who had been like the most stable running back
over the past decade.
Over the past 10 years. He's in Indianapolis right now. So, I mean, who's left on that team? Even Crabtree jumped ship.
The ball boy.
The ball boy might still be there.
Not your guy. Hey, the coach. The coach was one of the defensive coaches.
What? I don't even know his name. What's his name? Vic?
Thomas somebody.
I don't know.
Him. That guy.
Over under on the 49ers. Wins.
Second pick of the draft next year.
I say they might go 4-12.
Second pick of the draft next year.
Might go 4-12.
I'm giving them 2-14. Just because they play in the NFC. Good shot. Yeah, I went there.
I'm surprised you didn't stay in that division.
Oh, I'm coming for that division. Oh, I am coming for that division.
I'm surprised you didn't stay in the division and go with Jimmy Graham for the Seattle Seahawks as the number 1 off-season move.
Well, yes and no. I mean, Jimmy Graham was a good pick, but do I think it'll make just that much of a tremendous impact on that offense? I don't really think so. I mean, really, when you have a run the ball and play defense team like that, it'll make its fair share of impact, but I mean, not as much as I think people are just getting the credit for.
That is the one weakness that they had. No legitimate, reliable, top-tier pass catcher. And then you add maybe the second best tight end in the entire league to your squad. A squad that runs mainly read option and play action stuff down the middle of the field.
But
where Jimmy Graham gonna line up and go down the middle of the field.
So what do you do then? I mean, if you know that, hey, that's the biggest impact, and that's basically your only threat besides the other tight end and pass coverage, all you do is double him.
But the rest of their wide receivers, while they aren't number 1 receivers, not
are
a
garbage.
Single one, they're not garbage. They usable. They
garbage.
They serviceable.
Garbage.
They serviceable. So if he don't do nothing else, he gonna at least be a bona fide decoy.
A Pinto is serviceable. Would you drive it?
If that's what I need to get me to the promised land, then I lace that bad boy up, gas it up, and go on down the road.
Yeah, it might get you through the main streets, but is it gonna actually get you to work before it breaks down? I mean, I'll put it like this: Seattle's gonna do the exact same thing that they did last year. Why? Because you got probably one of the best defenses of all time. But do I think Jimmy Graham made that much of an impact? I'm surprised that, honestly, you didn't go to your division.
I'm about to go to my division, but since we were in the NFC West, I had to sit there. Besides, we got to come back to the NFC West because they, like every team that I believe has a legitimate shot at winning the Super Bowl this year
Right.
have big question marks.
Absolutely.
We're going to address those in a little bit.
Absolutely.
But my number one all-season impact, Chip Kelly. That's a bad man.
He's going to be known as either being incredibly smart or tremendously the dumbest coach of all time, depending on how this season goes.
And no matter which way it goes, it is going to be a thrill to watch.
And it is going to be great to watch them go 6-10.
He basically took that entire team and went Dave Chappelle. F your team.
Yes.
We going to do this my way. I'm going to bring a whole bunch of...
Nobody's.
I'm gonna bring a whole bunch of smart players.
Nobody's. Unproven.
That's not seen. You got it right. Unproven talent. That's not that everybody else says can't do nothing with. Don't want.
Yeah, because he went and got his old college team.
He didn't get his old college.
He went and got Oregon.
It's only like 8 Ducks on the team, though.
Well, excuse me. He went and got the Pac-12 from 5 years ago.
Sam Bradford played for the Big 12.
Oh, okay. I'm happy you just brought that name. Thank you for bringing that name up before I could. You went and traded your perennial Pro Bowl quarterback for a quarterback that's played for 2 hours in the last 10. I give him. Okay, I can see Nick Foles going to the Pro Bowl.
Perennial?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him. Excuse you basically gave up the prom queen for her little sister.
He been a starter for 2 years.
Sam Bradford has probably played 2 years worth of games in the last 6.
You may be right.
It's Sam Bradford. You went and okay. Nick Foles, I could see Chip Kelly. Okay. Chip Kelly should have been able to work with Nick Foles, but you went and got Sam. I ain't never gonna stay injury free Bradford, and you gave away Nick Foles for that.
Answer me this. Injuries not considered, who would you take?
Nick Foles.
You take Nick Foles.
Because I know what I'm going to get out of him. Sam Bradford, I don't.
I don't know what I'm going to get out of Nick Foles. That's the entire
Nick Foles
reason
has showed me over 2 seasons what I'm going to get out of him.
He only played half of last season.
But look what you got.
And he threw more interceptions in those 9 games that he played last season than he did the entire season before that.
But I know Nick Foles is going to stand in that pocket and going to deliver that ball. Sam Bradford is going to stand in that pocket.
Sam Bradford, he's bigger than Nick Foles.
To take a quote from Stephen A. Smith, the boy's going to be tap dancing like Gregory Hines. Sam Bradford is scary in that pocket. He's not going to run out the pocket because he can't run.
T. Scissor hit him, and he stood in the pocket then.
That's because he a dumb. If I see T. Scissor coming for me, I ain't standing in the pocket. That's just you. It's a fine line between being brave and being stupid. Yeah, he's gonna take a few licks this year just to try to prove a point that he can stay injury free. But him thinking like that is exactly why he's not gonna make it past week 5.
A healthy Sam Bradford.
I'll take Nick Foles.
A healthy Sam Bradford has more accuracy, more arm strength, and better mechanics than Nick Foles.
But I mean, we can go hypothetical all day. I'm dealing in reality. Is Sam Bradford gonna stay healthy?
Is anybody gonna stay healthy? You know that better than anybody, Mr. I can't never keep a center.
Good point. I mean,
Mr. Pouncey then got injured again for the 18th time.
But Pouncey's not a quarterback.
He's a
great center, don't get me wrong.
That holds that entire offensive line together.
And I agree with you there. But would you rather have a all-star quarterback or an all-star center? Would you rather have a Hall of Fame quarterback? Because really and truthfully, that's still the same age-old saying. If you ain't got a quarterback, you ain't got a team.
Okay, you got a quarterback, but if you can't keep that quarterback standing up, then what good is it?
I can play Philly in the center. It's hard to play Philly in the quarterback. I can play Philly in the center.
You talking about the best center in pro football?
I mean, of course, you're not gonna be able to completely. You're not gonna get that same production.
Next man up only gets you so far.
I can get next man up better on the center than I can quarterback. At least next man up on the center is not. Next man up on the center may cost me a game, maybe two. Next man up on the quarterback is probably gonna cost me my franchise.
I disagree. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go out on the limb right now. I'm recording. Hear me say it. Pittsburgh done lost their division because Pouncey's out.
Pittsburgh is not only gonna win that division. Pittsburgh is my Super Bowl pick this year. And you know that no. Pittsburgh is my team. If you haven't, guys and girls, if you haven't learned by now, Pittsburgh is my day one team. Pittsburgh is not my Super Bowl pick every year for the simple fact that where Pittsburgh has some down years and they do play in the AFC. No. Pittsburgh is my Super Bowl pick this year is because of that offense. That offense is lethal, people. That offense is probably going to be the top-ranked offense in the game.
Like, when you said that right now, all I heard was, I'm hugging Pittsburgh's nuts. I'm always going to hug Pittsburgh's nuts.
And call it what it is. Chip Kelly that decided to destroy his whole team.
That team.
And when you said that, Chip Kelly.
They are going to win that division.
They aren't even going to.
They are going to win that division. I'm going to tell you why.
I hate the Cowboys.
I'm going to tell you why they're going to win the division.
Because they play in the NFC East. They played in the
NFC East last year. They didn't win the division.
That's because Dallas had one good year. They do that every 25, 30 years.
And what was Dallas' number one weapon last year?
Stupidity.
Besides that, I mean, we already know that.
Romo finally decided to throw to his teammates, not the other team.
No, you keep saying the wrong stuff. DeMarco Murray.
I know where you want to go with
DeMarco Murray was their number one, their golden goose.
And what they do with him?
They let him go.
And sent him where?
Right to Philly.
Where he's not going to do jack.
He's going to do a lot. Is he going to have 1,800 rushing yards? No. I'm going to tell you why.
Because he's going to be injured by week 5, and him and Sam Bradford both going to hold down the sideline.
Chip Kelly, the smartest mind in pro football.
What?
Did this to protect his $1 million investment.
Smartest mind in pro football?
The smartest mind in pro football. I'm telling you, man, he's an evil genius.
Bro, I'm going to check that water bottle. I think genius. That water bottle got a little something extra in it.
Man, that's for after the show. But right now, I can tell you I'm completely lucid. I'm completely sober. And he took it to old school Doomer's Bobcat football. He basically brought up his own wishbone squad. You got three legit starting running backs.
They have one thing in common. What is it?
They all injury prone.
Exactly.
So what do you do to help protect somebody from getting injured?
You go get an injury prone quarterback.
You limit the number of touches that they're gonna get.
I don't see it.
DeMarco Murray, they love running the football, right? That's what they do. They run the football. It's a staple. They a speed run, zone read team. That's what they do.
That's Chip Kelly.
That is exactly what you're going to get. A lot of people think that it's just read option, but it's not.
No, it's not.
If it was read option, then why in the hell would they get Sam Bradford? But with Sam Bradford, he needed him in there because he can get that ball down the field. He's got a big, strong, sturdy body, and I think his knees.
He has a big body that we can't say strong or sturdy.
Well, you can't say sturdy. He's
big.
That's to be seen, but he's got a big arm. He's got a big body. He can stay in the pocket and deliver that ball.
And Tebow will be starting by week 5. Keep going.
What?
Why not? Why not, Chip? Why not? Keep going.
We are not in the Matrix right now. Tim Tebow will not be starting.
Tebow will be started by week 5 because Bradford will be injured by week 3.
Tim Tebow will not be starting. But even so, that offense centers around the run game. You know you're going to be running the ball. You don't want to punish one particular back. You don't want to devalue that back. So what do? You get him help.
What do you do?
Get him some more help.
You play in the NFCs.
Ryan Matthews and DeMarco Murray and Darren Sproles, mark my words. They're gonna be a better three-headed beast than the Atlanta Falcons had back in 2004.
Over under wins.
Over under wins. 12. 12. I'm.
My mama told me if I ain't had nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
And that never stopped you before.
And that's why I'm gonna say it. Have you lost your damn mind?
I've known you for how long? 27 years?
And counting.
You have never minced words before. Don't start now.
And that's why I'm not. 12 wins. Have you lost your damn mind?
Bruh, Chip Kelly knows, just like I know, that you cannot go soft when you make this kind of an overhaul on an already good team. He took Andy Reid's team and won the division 2 years ago.
And then sold all of them up the river.
He ain't sell all of them up the river.
He got rid of all of them. You kept Riley Cooper.
He got rid of the problem makers. He
got rid of the reason that you won the division.
He got rid of the troublemakers.
You got rid of the reason you won the division.
Those troublemakers were the reason they won the division. That's why he's got to go big or go home. And I'm telling you,
this
is
going
either
home.
going to be a monumental.
I said it. Either he's going to go down as the biggest genius in history or the dumbest coach of all time.
This is either going to be a monumental triumph or a monumental failure. That's why it's either going to be 4-12 or 12-4. 3-13 or 13-3. There is no 8-8 with this guy. You cannot go 8-8 when you do that kind of overhaul.
Yeah, but you don't know what's the greatest thing about it was his biggest supporting thing. And you guys will hear me say this at least 30 times this season. NFC East. He has no competition. He can win the division at 8-8.
They got more rings than the NFC. Than the AFC North.
Pittsburgh got how many rings?
Pittsburgh got a lot of rings, but
Thank
I'm
you.
talking about that right now.
Thank you.
What have you done for me lately?
We'll see when they run up.
All right. So, staying with that motif, and you already kind of alluded to it a little while ago. We're going to go division by division. And we gonna rank these bad boys.
Let's get it.
So since you like making fun of the NFC East so much, we're gonna go ahead and start with them. Rank the NFC East teams. How you think they're gonna finish the year?
Finish the year ranking record.
Yep.
I'd go. Sad to say, I talk a lot of crap, but hey, Philly's probably gonna win the division by default. Let's see. Philly, I give them 10-6. Let's see. Dallas, 8-8. Because it's about time for Dallas it's time for that accident to happen. The Giants, actually, I think is going to be a surprise team. I'll also give them 8-8, and they're going to be tied with Dallas for second. Why? Because they got two of the most lethal receivers in the NFL. It just depends on if you get good Eli or bad Eli. The Redskins, do I really have to comment? Do I have to?
I'm gonna jump in right there because we both agree the Redskins are the basement of that division and they will forever be crapped on.
No, they're the grave of that division because the basement not buried deep enough.
So RG3 got the holy hell knocked out of him in his last game. Hasn't been cleared to play this game.
Are we going there?
This next game. So he's been benched.
Are we going there?
And Kirk Cousins, Captain Kirk.
What the hell?
The most important preseason game for the Washington Redskins.
It's the freaking preseason.
I'm going to say it right now. Kirk Cousins going to go out there. He's going to wreck shop. And he's going to take that starting job from RG3. RG3.
It ain't going to be hard to take.
RG3. Nah. Hey.
JTS. Hey, Jets looking. Cleveland looking. Hey, but we're gonna dive into that because I mean that basically broke today. If you guys hadn't been living under a rock today and hadn't tuned in to Sports Center at any point in time today, because this is all they've been talking about, RG3 did have basically his starting spot taken from him, from what they say, air quotes, concussions. So Captain Kirk, decided to start. They decided that he's gonna start week 1. RG3 basically is done for the preseason and it's out for the regular season. My question to you is, was RG3 doomed because of the coaching change, or did RG3 doom the coach?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
So basically what I'm asking is it RG3's fault or is it the organization's fault?
Neither. It's Mike Shanahan's fault.
How?
Mike Shanahan kept him in that divisional game, brought him back before he was ready, kept him in after he got hurt the first time, and then let him stay in there and get his knee torn up. And ever since then, RG3 has been, might as well not even put the RG3 on it. He's just been like RG2.
And
RG
I
half.
could not disagree with you more. All that falls on RG3, and I'll tell you why. RG3, before the Heisman, was just a humble kid that loved to play football. Then RG3 got a little recognition, got a few endorsements before he went to the league, and became a totally different person. Became somebody that he's not. So RG3 decided he wanted to be the biggest idiot in the world and put more pressure on himself than he already had. Because he wanted to, after said game that you were talking about, what was the whole big thing? Be prepared for week 1. Be prepared for week 1.
All in for week 1.
All in for week 1.
That was the advertisement. And yes.
Who decided to put this advertisement together? RG3. RG3, everything that's happening to him in Washington, it's all self-inflicted.
Now the problem he's had with his O-line, and probably the reason he got knocked out.
Yeah, that's probably a lot of the reason because of RG3.
That's. I'm not saying he's not culpable at all, because he's a little bit arrogant.
A little.
He's a little bit entitled.
Why? Because he's the second pick?
Well, obviously, but you ain't done nothing in the league until you won some playoff games, until you got to the Super Bowl, until you got some jewelry, some hardware to show for it.
You know who he reminds me of? Vince Young. Came in.
Whoa. I ain't going to let you talk about Vince Young like that.
Vince
Young had a completely different set of issues.
I'm not really.
RG3.
I'm going to explain to you why. He came in amidst a lot of hype. Had a phenomenal rookie season.
Even after that, dude was like 30-17, 30-18.
Beautiful rookie season. But what happened? Fame went to his head. And it started becoming about Vince Young, the brand, and not Vince Young, the football player.
Like, he literally had an issue, though. Like, he literally got to the point where he could not handle it.
Yeah.
And he self-imploded.
I mean, I'm not saying that they have the same issue. I'm just saying that the situation that's going on is kind of reminded me of the whole Vince Young situation. No, I'm never going to jump on anybody for having an issue. You know me, of all people, know about people with mental issues. Hell, I grew up with one. I'm not going to jump on that. It's, to me, the thing where the comparisons are drawn is this league, and you alluded to it earlier, is what have you done for me lately?
But RG3 has a reason to have a chip on his shoulder.
Why?
With Vince Young, he admitted he broke down, he couldn't handle it. RG3 just don't know that his rollers really smell like boo boo ooh ooh. RG3, like he's got a lot on his shoulders. He's carrying a lot because he's an African American quarterback.
Yeah.
You know how they've treated African American quarterbacks over the years.
He was the African American quarterback his rookie year.
One name, Warren Moon.
Yeah.
And that's all we got to say
Right.
regarding the way they do African American quarterbacks.
I agree.
But rookie year was fine. Why? 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. They win the division.
Beautiful. Yep.
As long as you winning, it's fine.
Yeah.
The second you start losing, because Mike Shanahan wanted to take you out of the system that made you into that winner and then put you into some other kind of system, instead of dancing with the one that brought you,
right,
they wanted to come pick up another guest.
Yeah.
And it cost RG3 his entire career thus far. Really. But the second stuff goes wrong, oh, he's arrogant. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. Oh, he's worried more about endorsements than he is about the locker room. Oh, he doesn't respect other people. See, people trying to throw dirt on the man's name because he's an African American quarterback.
Or maybe people throwing dirt on a man's name because all that you just mentioned is true.
It's true. It's true with other quarterbacks.
I mean, I completely get that. I completely do. But in that whole scheme of being an African American quarterback, why put more pressure on yourself than you already have? Why sit out there and decide to say, hey, I already got the weight of the world on my shoulders. Let me go grab Mars and Venus too and just put that on there just for ish and giggles.
I'm not gonna say that you're wrong, because the last thing that you want to do when there's already pressure on you is add unnecessary pressure.
And that's all I'm saying. That's why I blame RG3 for that.
That's definitely what he did. But the organization
did not help at all.
Have not done him any favors along the way. Regardless of what you hear about Dan Snyder and the relationship he has with RG3, if the relationship was really that good, he wouldn't have brought in Jay Gruden.
Dan Snyder is a businessman that's about his money.
Jay Gruden does not want anything to do with RG3, and he really cannot hide it at all.
And hasn't even tried to hide it. He said that he couldn't. The man ain't even. I can't really knock the man. I can't knock Gruden because he said that he said without just going out saying that, hey, he's not the quarterback for me.
And he's not really.
And with the system that Gruden runs, he's not.
RG3 is not that kind of quarterback that's a stand back in the pocket and throw a few passes and stuff like that.
Hand the ball off.
His legs is what makes him.
His legs got him a Heisman Trophy.
His legs, his athleticism, being able to move outside the pocket. That's what makes RG3, that dual threat is what makes RG3 RG3. And without it, he's a shell of himself.
And that's why I believe that the best thing for both parties involved is to go ahead before the season even start and trade RG3.
We both agree on this one thing, and then we'll move on to the other divisions. It's not gonna get any better
before it gets worse.
And before it gets better, he's gonna have to do quite a bit of winning. The only way for him to shut people up is to go out there and win.
But you got to be on the field to be able to do that.
He'll make it for the regular season. Like if that concussion knocks him out for that long a time, then he might have some different.
It's not the concussion that's gonna keep him on the field. Keep him off the field. Next division.
All right, let's stay in the NFC. NFC South is a pretty interesting division this year. Who you got, top to bottom?
Everybody's going 7-9, and the one that decides to go 8-8 is gonna win it. Who's gonna be that? I have no clue. Let's see. Carolina, Kelvin Benjamin. The loss of Kelvin Benjamin was huge.
The first preseason game they played without him. Oh my goodness.
I would hate to say one player, especially a receiver, cost you the division, but hell, one player, basically a receiver, cost you the division.
Kelvin Benjamin was so big for Cam Newton.
Very.
It's like Cam Newton's out there playing with the cash from the Little Giants.
Man.
Without him. Like, Greg Olsen is his only legit threat.
Besides Greg Olsen, name me 3 Carolina receivers.
I cannot do that, sir, and I'd be lying if I could.
I mean, that huge. Okay.
But you still got Cam Newton.
He still got that defense.
Who got that massive contract extension. Massive contract extension. So you know he good for it, right? You know you good for it, right?
He wasn't good for it before he got it. Keep going.
The market determines the worth.
He wasn't good for it before he got it. Keep going.
They paid Ryan Tannehill.
He wasn't good for it before he got it.
They paid Russell Wilson. They paid Ryan Tannehill. They paid Colin Kaepernick.
They paid him.
Only one out of those 3 quarterbacks have even smelt a Super Bowl
True.
victory. Colin Kaepernick did make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he gets a little bit of clout for that. But the market determines it. Eli Manning's probably going to get just as much money as Cam Newton. And what has he done in the last 5 years?
He threw a S-load of interceptions.
He threw quite a bit. Threw quite a few interceptions. Quite a few. But I still got to go with Carolina until somebody else seats them. The Saints' defense has taken a massive step back with the loss of Junior Gillette.
Yeah, that hurt.
And they lost Jimmy Graham.
That really hurt. But, I mean, this is Drew Brees. Drew Brees could pop one receivers and turn them into football.
I'm gonna say this. You might call it blasphemy, call it what you want to, but I'm gonna say it right here, right now, because I don't hold my words for nobody. Drew Brees is not an elite top tier quarterback anymore.
It depends on what he does this year. I'm almost.
He threw like 23 interceptions last year.
I'm almost inclined to agree with you. I'm almost.
I put right now he's at the edge. He's like at the edge of that.
He's either close to number 11 or hovering right around number 9. But you're right, that could go either way. I'm almost inclined to agree with you.
He's at the edge of that top tier.
Yeah,
like you got everybody knows you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Tom Brady, you got Peyton Manning.
Andrew Luck.
You got Andrew Luck.
You gotta throw Russell Wilson in there.
You gotta throw Russell Wilson in there.
You gotta throw Big Ben in there.
Big Ben. I put Big Ben ahead of Russell Wilson and Romo.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
So you got Big Ben, you got Peyton, you got Tom Brady, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Andrew Luck. I mean, that's top 5 right there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Drew Brees above any of those.
No, not at all.
Any of them.
No, that's your elite top tier.
Those are the
best of the best. That's cream of crop.
Right. Absolutely.
So who you got 6 through 10?
6 through 10 quarterbacks. Got to put Romo there.
Painfully so. But
painfully so. It hurts my soul. You have no idea how much
I'd even say just going into the season, I'd throw Cam in there too. In the top 10. I'd throw Cam in there.
We'll see when I get there. And
I throw Cam in there just because of the division he plays in.
He just put me on the spot. So this is like no time to prepare, just off the top of my head. I'd have to go Romo, Russell Wilson. Who else?
Who we leaving out here? I would say
I'm thinking, and I can't really think.
We'll get back to that one.
I can't really think of nobody else before I get.
You know what?
You know who comes to mind?
Who's that?
Phillip Rivers.
I can go with you on that.
Phillip Rivers.
I can go with you on that.
Phillip Rivers comes into mind.
Oh yeah, I mean,
quarterback.
For the first quarter of the season, man, Phillip Rivers was a legit MVP candidate. I'll give you that.
His defense really let him down.
His defense sucks.
His defense really let him down. His running game was non-existent.
He was the only thing that on it. He was the only thing on that team that made the team worth watching.
Really, really, really. And I was happy because that means Peyton had pretty much a cakewalk through that division. But that's neither here nor there, people.
Next. Let's see. Tampa Bay could really be a surprise.
Could do something.
Tampa Bay could be a surprise.
You know what?
Tampa Bay could win that division. That's why I say that division is wide open. The winner of the division 9 times out of 10 is probably gonna be 9-7.
I'm gonna put.
So yeah, Tampa Bay could definitely win it.
I'm gonna say the Panthers are going to go. I'm gonna say the Panthers are gonna go 9-7. The Bucks, I give them 8-8.
Yeah.
Saints, I'm going 6-10.
You know what?
And
I'll give it a 3-way. I'll give that division a 3-way split. I say 9-7 across the board. Tampa Bay, and basically that's just going. Whoever wins that division is going to be based on percentage points.
They all could go 9-7.
Yeah.
Though. Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt Ryan.
That's
is
what I'm
another
saying.
one of those top 10
It's going to be a
quarterbacks.
percentage point division.
Joe Flacco is another one of those top 10 quarterbacks. He won Super Bowl.
Okay.
He won Super Bowl.
Okay, well, how long ago?
Like what?
3 years ago?
3-4 years.
Okay,
He won one. He won one before since Aaron Rodgers has won one.
True.
And Aaron Rodgers is like the undisputed number one best quarterback in the league. Talent wise. Now, when you want to talk about doing more with less and all that kind of BS, we can talk about that for days.
Oh, how about Aaron Rodgers hit with Jordy Nelson? That hurt.
Which is a nice little segue. I see what you did there. Segue into the NFC North.
We do what we can do when we can do it.
Green Bay still got that division. I'm sorry.
I disagree.
Green Bay still got that division.
I disagree.
Who you going, Detroit?
I'm going with Detroit.
You going with Detroit?
I'm going with Detroit. And I'm also going to tell you one thing. It would not. Hey, this is my jump off the ledge pick this year. Watch for Minnesota. Keep your eye on Minnesota.
As long as they got all day.
They got more than all day now. Keep your eye on Minnesota.
They are a legit threat in that division to at least eat up a couple of wins from Green Bay. Detroit. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Everybody has a question. Detroit's defensive line, which was their strength last year, needs to be put back together since they lost Ndamukong Suh.
Right.
He's in Miami now.
And fairly.
Chilling, getting tan.
And fairly.
They lost fairly too. Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. That line needs to be rebuilt.
True.
They not the same team without it.
Absolutely.
Minnesota still has questions. Is Teddy Bridgewater that dude?
I think he is.
How is Adrian Peterson going to look coming back?
True. I mean, that whole division has questions.
The closest thing to a sure thing, though,
that Chicago will finish last.
Yes. Yes. So we got to give that to Green Bay. Got to give it to Green Bay.
I give it to Green Bay.
NFC
as of right
West,
now.
do we? Seattle.
Seattle with the Rams swinging really hard.
Now here we go. This is what I'm talking about. When I say we're gonna have to come back to that, and every team has a big question mark. That secondary is hurt.
Yeah,
that secondary is hurt.
Absolutely.
Richard Sherman needs Tommy John surgery.
Right.
And he's not doing it. So how effective will he be if that arm ain't working like it used to?
He's still a rangy corner.
He's very rangy.
He can cover a lot of ground.
He's a very rangy corner. When you can only use one arm, that takes away some of that range.
I mean,
Cam Chancellor is holding out right now.
They're going to pay that man. They're going to pay that man by next week.
Just came off an injury.
They'll pay Cam Chancellor by next week.
And we don't know. We don't know if Earl Thomas is really 100% either. They lost Byron Maxwell to the Phillies.
Yeah.
Philly made a wonderful pick.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good pick. I ain't gonna hate on that.
I throw Eagles plugs in whenever I get a chance to. So just know that they coming.
About the best throw that they're gonna have this year with Sam Bradford at quarterback. Keep going.
Why you gotta hate so much, man? Why you gotta?
Cause it's Sam freaking Bradford.
Why you gotta bring up old stuff?
Cause it's Sam Bradford.
Anyway, I still say Seattle has that division, although they could take a step back. And Arizona is coming.
I'm not gonna say definitively they had it. I'm just gonna say
coming.
I reserve the right to change my mind on that division because I'm not gonna say for a definite that Seattle has it. I really cannot pick a winner in that division.
If Carson Palmer can stay healthy, which has been a big issue for him,
yeah,
Arizona can take that division.
Arizona,
they defense.
They should have drafted a quarterback this year. They should have had a quarterback in waiting this year. They
really should have.
They should have drafted a quarterback this year.
They really should have.
Carson Palmer is not your long-term answer.
Neither is Drew Stanton.
Drew Stanton ain't even your short-term answer.
Oh my God! And I'm so glad that Ryan Lindley was gone. Like, he was part of one of the worst games I had ever seen. Remember when he was playing with the Cardinals and they played the Jets a couple years ago? Mm-hmm. Oh my God! He had like a total QBR of like
3.3.
It was horrible. Like, it was literally.
He was there. He showed
like,
up. He came to the game.
Don't you get 3 points just for suiting up?
I think you get like 5 points for spelling your name correctly. Something like that.
And I don't even think they did that right.
Well, he kind of got hit in the head a few times that game.
Yeah.
And like I said, it wouldn't. That division is so wide open. But one thing I can say for
San
definite,
Francisco is in the basement,
and you better believe it. Next,
okay, so that pretty much covers the NFC. Now over to the AFC. Let's go AFC North.
Pittsburgh.
It's it's gonna be out of Pittsburgh.
And Pittsburgh.
It's gonna be out of Pittsburgh, and now all those Eagles pops that I threw in, prepared to hear like twice as many Steelers pops.
Pittsburgh wins the division, without a doubt, no question.
So you ain't giving Baltimore any kind of shot?
Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. That defense is taking some real hard hits.
Baltimore defense is still better than Pittsburgh's.
But their offense ain't even close.
Their offense, they still got Steve Smith. He's still there.
He 117 years old.
They still got Joe Flacco, they quarterback.
He Flacco.
Justin Forsett.
One-hit wonder.
You really think so?
Yes, because the man, how many teams did he play for before he came to Baltimore and had one good year?
All it takes, man, is
one good year.
All it takes is
one-hit wonder.
Having that right setup.
One-hit wonder.
I think he found a good spot.
He probably won't even rush for over
With
700
that being
yards.
said, Pittsburgh's going to win the division.
Cincinnati is Cincinnati. Cincinnati's going
to win a lot of games. I think they're going to go 10-6. But they're not going to make the playoffs.
What about Johnny? Cleveland. What about Johnny? Yeah.
What the hell about him?
He's there. He's somewhat sober.
They started McNown on over him.
Yeah, that's gonna last for 3 weeks. Johnny, I guarantee by week 6, Johnny starting.
I'm saying right now, Cleveland going 8-8.
I'm saying right now, Cleveland going 6-10.
Cleveland going 8-8, and it's gonna be in part because Johnny Football is gonna come back and lead that team back from the depths of despair and give that city hope. Mark my words. Can I get a amen?
You know that this whole statement was just so full of it.
Church.
Where this whole room just got a screwed up odor to it. Just how full of crap that statement was.
That's because
Johnny Football was like 5'3".
That's because you skipped your deodorant today.
I tried. I tried.
Johnny Football is like 6 feet tall. He's got the hands of like a dude 6'3", 6'4". So his height really isn't much of an issue.
Okay, before I'm gonna cut you off and I'm gonna let you finish. Before you go ahead and start this about Johnny Football, everything that you're about to say was said about him coming out of college. What happened last year? Johnny Football, the NFL game is too much for Johnny Football.
He was drunk the entire year.
He was more than drunk. Johnny Football had his powder in the nose a few times on the sideline.
Whoa.
You don't go to rehab for liquor.
Yes, you do.
You don't go to rehab in the NFL for liquor. Everybody in the NFL is alcoholic.
You and me both know.
Everybody in the NFL is alcoholic.
Alcoholism is a bad beast.
Yeah, but everybody in the NFL is alcoholic. You don't go to rehab for alcohol. Johnny Football had powder in the nose a few times on the sideline.
Either way, he's sober now, and he's actually
how long?
He's putting his nose in that playbook, and The only thing that can hold him back right now is himself.
Week 5, the old Johnny Football will come back out. The money sign is not dead. It's just lying dormant. It will be back out by week 5 because he's going to do something and all the adrenaline is going to go to his head and he's going to break the money sign back out. Of course, he ain't did it in preseason because he know the scope is on him.
Just no love. Just no love.
I like Johnny Football, but I have to deal in reality.
Change.
Yeah, people can change, but
People
Johnny
can
Football,
change.
I'm not saying it. Johnny Football is a spoiled rich kid that grew up a spoiled rich kid and still think he's entitled to be that same spoiled rich kid, and he will not change.
I think Johnny Football got a taste of that RG3 magic last year, and he ain't like it, so he decided, I'm going to show up and I'm going to work. Because I know in the NFL, nothing is given.
And that's going to last about 6 weeks.
Everything is earned.
That's going to be great for about 6 weeks. Next division.
Let's go AFC South.
Now, you know what? I don't know. I'll get your input and then I'll fly from there. What do you think about the AFC South?
I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't.
I don't know. Let's come back to that one.
I really don't.
AFC West. Who you got?
I ain't got who you got.
You know who I got.
I know who you got. I ain't got who you got. I don't want him.
Peyton. Broncos going 12-4. They will win that division outright. Won't even be close. You got the Raiders. You got...
It's the freaking AFC West. He ain't got no competition.
You got the Raiders.
His big competition is the freaking Chargers. That's all he got. That's it.
It is. And I don't think...
He don't play against nobody.
I don't think they're going to do much anyway.
Chargers in Kansas City. Really?
The Raiders are going to do some things this year.
Yeah, that's called 10th pick of the draft.
They got a good young team.
Yeah, it's called 10th pick of the draft.
They got Amari Cooper. They got Derek Carr, who's been looking pretty good. They got Khalil Mack, who's arguably should have been the first pick.
I ain't no argument about it. He should have been. Definitely should have been. Ooh.
I'm telling you, the Raiders.
I give them 7 and 9.
I would be looking back in my rearview mirror for those guys.
I give them 7 and 9. They gonna win.
That division's gonna be a lot more competitive.
This is how I see the Raiders. They gonna win all the games that they're not supposed to win, and they gonna lose all the games that they're supposed to win. That's why I'm gonna give them 7 and 9. They'll probably end up beating Denver one time this year. They'll probably end up beating San Diego. Sweet. Probably beat them twice. They're gonna win all the games that they're not supposed to win.
You better not put no money on that.
I put money on that they will beat Denver one time.
Nope. Not going to happen.
I will put money on it that they will beat Denver one time. Because if Denver over the years had any kind of thorn in their side, it's been the freaking Raiders. They always find a way to be a pest for Denver. Never fails. So, yeah, I give them one win.
With that being said, they hadn't beaten them in the last 3 years. And the biggest pest while Peyton has been there has been San Diego. And San Diego just ain't got it. I'm sorry.
Nah.
I'm sorry.
So we're both in agreement that Denver is going to win this freaking AFC over there.
They going to win it. And I'm going to go one step further. They got the 2 seed.
I don't doubt that at all.
They got the 2 seed.
What they going to do with it?
That is the question.
I don't doubt that at all.
That is the question.
I don't see Peyton Manning having lower than a 3, maybe a 2, maybe 3 seed.
If Peyton can stay relatively healthy,
he's gonna stay healthy.
And their run game is as good as it's expected to be, and that defense actually shows up during the postseason,
they'll lose in the AFC Championship game in New England.
Why you gotta just crap on my dreams, man?
Because Peyton Manning's an easy target.
Okay, now that I kind of figured this out, AFC South, it's Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I mean,
the only reason I say that it may be, I don't doubt Houston coach, man. Dude was a pretty good coach, man.
I mean, he's one of those Belichick disciples.
Yeah, so he's a pretty good coach.
You know they're going to be well coached. And J.J. Watt could literally play every position.
We get no love for Jacksonville? Jacksonville get no love? None?
Man, hell no.
No. Nothing.
Get that out of here.
Little bit.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Blake Bortles.
No.
Nothing.
Julius Thomas, that's the worst decision he could have ever made.
I got Julius Thomas and Mercedes Lewis. Tight end. No love. Nothing. Not a little bit. Corner. You know the corner of the bottle, that liquor that hits harder than anything and all that?
They should, instead of Mercedes Lewis, they should go ahead and call him Pinto Lewis.
Wow. That's a swift kick in the ass there, but
the truth is a horrible thing sometimes.
But I'll ride with you. I gotta go Indy too. I mean,
so okay. So now that we've been through every division, who's gonna get number one seed? NFC
number one seed. I would have to go with Green Bay. I have to go with Green Bay. I see basically the NFC. I see Seattle, that division, just beating the crap out of each other. I have to go with whoever wins the NFC North, being number one seed. I mean,
the loss of Jordy Nelson takes away one win from them.
Yeah. But that one win is probably going to make them 12-4, though.
And because of that, I think the Eagles going to go 13-3. They take the number one seed. Chip Kelly, you the man.
Hell no.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Hell no. What?
Let them know that
Philly.
Let them know it's a thinking man's game just as much as it
Philly.
is an athletic man's game.
Philly. Hell, I'm not even giving Pittsburgh the number one seed.
I mean, of course. I told you they lost Pouncey.
I'm not even. Philly.
And allow me this qualifier because I deserve one. If Sam Bradford stays healthy the entire season, Philadelphia will have the number one seed.
Hell no. There's a few more words that I can say, but I don't like to use those words in the presence of good company, namely all you lovely people out there that's listening to this podcast. But hell no.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
No
watch
way
it.
In the
Don't
hell.
believe me, just watch.
Okay.
That's what Bruno Mars said.
Just because me and my brother here like making friendly wagers, I say right now as a bet, if they get number one seed, I will go and personally buy a freaking Sam Bradford Philadelphia Eagles jersey. One for me and one for you. And I will wear that throughout the duration of the playoffs. I'm saying it right now, preseason live, to where everybody, God, and they mama can hear it. If that happens, I will go buy me and you both a Philadelphia Eagles jersey, and I will wear it for every game, and I will come over here every playoff game, sit at your house in that jersey, and watch every playoff game with you in that jersey.
That sounds interesting.
There is no way in living hell Philadelphia will have the number one seed in the NFC.
I will take that wager, sir.
No way.
I will take that wager.
But in the return of that, if they don't get the number one seed, you must do everything I said in a Tony Romo jersey.
Why I gotta be? You don't even like Tony Romo.
Exactly, because I know you despise him just as much as I do.
You don't even like Tony Romo.
Exactly.
Hold up. I'm going to make an amendment to this wager.
No, you don't get to do the Dez Bryant jersey. No.
Damn. That was the first one. Okay. Since I can't do the Dez Bryant jersey, I will do the Tony Romo jersey if and only if the Cowboys end up winning that division and not Philly. If the Cowboys win the division, I wear the Tony Romo jersey.
Okay. I'm with that. I can agree with that.
Shake on it.
I'll roll with that. All
right. I like my jerseys in 2X.
I like mine a little bigger. You know, I'm a small guy, so I got a little big. So I like mine a little bigger. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'll be wearing one that it matter, you know. But hey, it's the thought that counts.
Well, you get to pick your own jersey.
Okay, I'll roll with that.
Just make sure that mine is in 2X.
Oh, I'll roll with that.
I might need a 3. I might need a little bit of room to dance.
Hey, don't.
A little bit in it.
For what? I mean, crying usually involves sitting on the couch and just sitting there. And you ain't got to dance,
I'm
right?
gonna be cabbage patching like it ain't no thing.
Man.
Bad boy.
Okay. AFC.
AFC. Who's number one seed? Everybody's saying Indianapolis.
I don't
They're
agree
on
with
the
that.
bandwagon. Indianapolis.
You know what?
This, Indianapolis. That.
You know what? As much as it pains and sickens me to say it, it'll be New England. They ain't got to play nobody.
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about the AFC East.
Oh, yeah.
That's by far the most interesting division in football to me right now.
No.
Why? Because every team
Is
hitting.
Yeah.
Every team
Agreed.
is a hitter.
Agreed.
You got Miami with that defense.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill finally starting to step up. And that's the worst team in the division to me.
Yeah, it is.
Then you got the Jets. They got Revis back. They got Cromartie back for the first 4 games and possibly longer. They question is going to be, one, how is Ryan Fitzpatrick going to do in place of Geno Smith? 2, how is Geno Smith going to do when he comes back if he gets a chance to
Geno
even
Smith
play?
going to lose. I believe, and I'm going on record right now, Geno Smith either way is losing his starting spot. It don't even matter if Ryan Fitzpatrick falls on his face. Because I honestly think that they're going to get RG3. I really do.
Like, if nobody punches Geno Smith in the mouth, then I really don't see him losing that start.
I don't even see him getting it back when he comes back either way. I think that they'll probably
Ryan
find a diamond in
Fitzpatrick
the rough.
takes too many risks.
But
he takes too many risks.
But they got a pretty good young quarterback sitting over there that everybody's forgetting about. Everybody's forgetting about Bryce Petty, man. Kid's a good young quarterback. He's pro ready already.
Bryce Petty's pretty good, but I have to say you ride with Geno until he shows you that he's not anything more than what we thought he was.
He haven't showed it yet.
They are who we thought they were.
He hasn't showed it yet.
Not yet. No, it's only 2 years. RG3's gotten 4.
He ain't deserved the last 2 either. But okay, rank him winner.
And then we still hadn't even talked about Buffalo yet. That is the one team
They
to
need a
me.
quarterback.
That team to me, but look at their running game.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful, but they need a
Look at
quarterback.
their skill positions. Look at their defense.
They
Their defense is lethal.
They need a quarterback.
But see, that's.
But they got the offensive kryptonite over there. It's called Rex Ryan. They got the offensive kryptonite.
He's not the offensive kryptonite.
He's offensive kryptonite.
How?
He's great. Don't get me wrong. He's to me is one of the best defensive minds ever.
Tim Tebow.
Who fault
Mark
is that?
Sanchez.
Who fault
Tim
is that?
Tebow.
He is.
That was the general manager. The general manager drafted them dudes.
It's still his fault.
Mark Sanchez.
He could have benched him.
Tim Tebow. Geno Smith. Bruh.
Could have went out and found your quarterback, man.
Like, that sounds like...
He could have went out and found him a quarterback, bro. I ain't gonna let Rex slide like that. I'm not on the offense, man.
That sounds like the death lottery, dude.
I'm not gonna let Rex slide on it.
That sounds like the Jeopardy answer to these 3 are the worst 3 possible quarterbacks to try to start a franchise with. Who is Mark Sanchez, Tim Tebow, and Geno Smith?
Man, he could just really and truthfully, but he could let Tebow just run the ball for what he got.
He got to the AFC Championship game with a garbage Mark Sanchez.
He got his defense took him there.
I think Tyrod Taylor.
I say he should start.
I think Tyrod Taylor,
based on experience,
or EJ Manuel, or even Matt Castle. I think any of them are serviceable enough to just do what they need to do. And with the skill positions that they
Taylor,
got,
yes.
With the skill
EJ, maybe. Matt
but see,
Castle,
you're not asking any of these quarterbacks to be that guy.
Yeah.
Because the skill positions that they have, LaShawn McCoy, beast.
Yeah.
Percy Harvin, beast. Sammy Watkins, beast. And then we got our old boy Chris Gregg.
Yeah.
From Arkansas.
Woo Pig.
We got all those skill positions. All they got to do is just give them the ball and let them work.
Yeah.
That's it. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, for crying out loud. Trent Dilfer.
Who you got?
I still gotta go with the Patriots. I mean, I'm not dumb. Until they show me something different, until one of those teams show me that they can consistently challenge that team, and the Patriots got a lot of questions too, might I add.
The Patriots have a lot of questions every year. They just seem to answer them every year.
Tom Brady might miss 4 games. That defense lost Brandon Browner and Darrelle Revis and Vince Wilfork, who was the cornerstone of that D-line.
But what do they do every year?
I mean, they have Bill Belichick every year.
That's what I'm saying.
And as long as they got Bill Belichick, they
I got to ride with him in that
at winning that division.
Because he going to want to stick it to Rex just because it's Rex.
That being said, how many games you got them winning?
The Patriots?
Yep.
12-4.
So you telling me Jimmy Garoppolo is going to win at least 2 of his 4 starts?
Yeah. Yeah. I really do. I really believe that just because of the name you just said. Because it's freaking Bill Belichick.
They're going to have to win 12 games to have even an outside shot at that number 1 seed. They're not going to do it.
12-4.
They're not going to do it. They're going to go 1-3 with Jimmy Garoppolo.
But we also operating on the premise there that Brady's going to be gone for 4 games.
Even if Brady ain't going for 4 games, they going 11-5.
Garoppolo going to get blowed out the first game.
Oh,
because team that they playing this first game, they're going to send the Wolves at him. He out of there the first game. We can't even count it. He lost it. Second game I believe the second game is against Buffalo. I can see him winning that one.
He going to lose that one too. Rex Ryan going to get in that behind.
Man,
Rex Ryan going to get
Belichick going to want to stick it to Rex just as much as Rex going to want to stick to Belichick. So that one can go either way. But
who played Bill Belichick tougher than any coach?
Oh, Rex Ryan, because he has a disdain and hatred for him.
The garbage Jets had the best record against him.
But you got
anybody.
Them Jets teams didn't have no garbage defense. They were always top 5 defenses every year.
Always. Okay, so you say they're gonna go 12-4. I say they're gonna go 11-5. I think Indy, because they got a cakewalk to their division.
Yeah,
they don't have to play anybody tough.
True.
That's an easy 6 games for them.
Yeah.
That's an easy 6 games for them. Brian Hoyer does not scare me at all. If I'm Chuck Pagano.
Nah.
So I got Indy going a good 12-4, maybe 13-3.
I got Indy going probably 13.
I say they go 13-3.
Yeah.
They do have a pretty tough schedule, but Andrew Luck is that dude, and with the weapons he's got outside now with Andre Johnson, he's got a reliable running back, and Frank Gore who knows how to run the hell through a hole when he sees one.
Very true.
Instead of running from the hole.
He still got that offensive line situation though.
Well, they also got some questions on defense too. Yeah. Like I said, no team.
Indy's had questions on defense for the last 15 years.
No team is just a powerhouse.
Oh no,
right now
everybody has
all
questions.
Got legit questions.
Yeah.
That being said, I got Indy number 1 seed, Denver number 2 seed. I'm gonna go New England 3. I gotta go with Pittsburgh for 4. Now wild cards. Who you got? I got Buffalo and Cincy.
I got Cincy and San Diego.
I take that.
San Diego always finds a way to sneak in.
I take that. Now, NFC, I got Philly and Green Bay 1 and 2. 3, I got Seattle. 4, got to be a division winner, so we got to pick somebody out of the AFC South. Throw a dart at a board, and I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. That's my out on a limb pick. Tampa Bay's gonna win that division.
Okay.
So wild cards, we got Dallas and Detroit.
I agree with you everywhere, but my out on a limb pick is gonna be Minnesota wild card. That's gonna be my out on a limb. I agree with you everywhere else though. Except for the whole Philly getting the number 1 seed. No.
You've been hating this long.
No, I give them a division winner seed, which is probably going to place them 2-3, somewhere around there.
Why stop
But
now?
number 1 seed, no way in living hell. Or dying hell either.
All right. Well, that's about all the time we got for today. Next week, we'll come back with
College football, baby.
got to do the college football since the kickoff is about a week from now. So we'll have a nice little college football preview. Until then, you've been listening to your boy Charles Dedrick, a.k.a. Chuck Deasy, a.k.a. the Big Black Beast, a.k.a. that dude, and my boy Old School Silk, a.k.a. J-Dub, a.k.a. Mr. Go Get It,
Jizzer.
a.k.a. Grind Hard, Shine Hard,
And let's go.
Jason Jackson, and this is
Real Talk Sports, baby.
Yeah.
Let's get it.